What has been happening recently is I was reaching out to a lot of people for my podcast, and one interesting thing that happened this time is because of the pandemic, a lot of companies have started to hire remotely. So I magically got into the first interview round for Media, which is Gary Vee's company. This whole journey started because of him, so it was so cool to have passed that through, and that was the first time I felt like, wow, sitting from here in Lucknow, I can get my foot in the door. That was an eye-opener. A lot of things have opened up for me, which have just been, I can only be grateful for them. I never got through it, because I'm not really an editor. It's something I've learned to do. I can, get by, cut clips, paste clips, add a sticker, add text, have music come in. That's it. That's about it I can do. I really tried my best, and I gave my best. I was very satisfied with what I had given, even though it was not good enough. But I really I pushed myself to the limits, and I did it, and I felt very satisfied after that. So I have no regrets. I really felt like I gave it my best. But another interesting thing that happened is I recently interviewed a guest for my podcast whose name was Dana, and she was a part of this company called Pure Wow. Pure Wow's parent company is Gallery Media Group, which is a company that was which was acquired by Gary. It was acquired by VaynerX. VaynerX is the bigger company, which just under you have Vayner Media and Sasha Group, and a lot of different companies, Vayner Sports and whatnot. So VaynerX is the big company, and these small companies are under it. So Gallery Media Group is now one company that's under it. Anyway, Dana worked with this company for almost 7-8 years, which was a lot, and we got to connect, and we instantly vibed, and it was great energy. And I had applied to, I've still applied to GMG, which is Gallery Media Group, as a podcast host. They're looking for. Interesting. And Dana said that she would personally, forward my resume and cover letter to them out of nothing. I was like, oh my god, angels. But that just reminded me how networking can get you into doors degrees can't, and this was a great example of it. And then Dana herself said hey, would you like to do a couple of videos for me? There's this new company that I'm launching. And I said, yeah, sure, I would love to. And for the first time I wanted to go to LA physically, to work with people, like-mindedness, learn and do all sorts of things. And now you can do them remotely. And I'm trying to, my eyes opened up the first time when I got into Vayner. Then I applied to GMG. Then working with Dana now, it's still under the testing phases. And now I'm seeing something that's working, and I want to pour everything I have into it. Again, now start finding people indirectly, straight up ask, hey, is there something I can give value to you, or do you have any work that I could contribute something towards, and just work hard to get a gig, and then it's on to the next and on to the next. And I'm seeing a path here, which has just been really, really eye-opening. And wow, man, what the internet and in today's world, everything that we're capable of achieving, it's unreal almost. So I was reaching to a lot of people in New York now because but somehow I ended up connecting with a lot of people over there. And just the past week I reached out to a lot of people, and 4 or 5 people even ended up saying yeah, we would love to hop on a podcast, but never followed up. Things like this happen all the time. But it's been almost a week since this whole rejection cycle has been going on, me DMing people and not hearing back, or if I do hear back, there might not be a follow-up. So it's been tough, and I'm just going through that little tough phase right now where everything is a little slow, and I feel not in a slump, definitely slow. But I feel if I'm reaching out to 20-30 people, I better make it fucking 60-100, that's the only answer. You really can't cry at this point of time, my head is hurting. So that is the update I wanted to give you. Really, really looking for work currently and really want things to do I look weird? So things like that are going on. I'm reading a lot. Let me share a couple of things with you. Real life stuff. Let me see what was the last diary entry I made. I remember I read one of them. This was 5th of June is the last. I think this was the day where I was feeling really confused. And I think I'm still kind of in the stages of being a little confused. So let's see where we're at. So I've written on 5th of June, this is 4:57 p.m. and it goes like, what are my goals? Where am I headed? I reported victories and my experience, that cannot be the peak, right? So I had reported that, oh, I got into the first round of beta. Obviously I didn't get the job. It was just like, clearing one interview fucking round. But I had yet reported it because it was a huge achievement, it was a beginning of something that I can't possibly imagine right now. But I did not want this to be my peak, getting into the first round. I wanted to report something even more grander the next month. So therefore I had written, that cannot be the peak, that can't be defeat. And then I wrote, if you're not advancing, you're retreating. Those are straight facts. It's getting tiring to constantly be in fight mode. Regardless, nothing great is accomplished through easy efforts. Can only make myself stronger, turn myself into a warrior. That is who I cannot give into a weaker self. Life is a constant battle, a constant struggle. Need and want to pray to report one, a loftier and grander experience, professionally and in my personal life. In order to challenge myself, I want it to be a brave and bold experience. Cannot be complacent, cannot be lax. A lot of good things are going for me. They can't be a cause of making me weak. This is in context to my relationship. It's in context to not just like dating wise or even with my family. I feel like when I'm not having a good relationship in my personal life, like when things are not working out, that's when I'm working harder and I'm doing 10 different things. But that's not a very good environment or attitude to be in, like if things are going good, that does not mean that it should not be a cause of making me, people who love me and who I love back with all my heart, should not be a cause of something that'll make me weak, that'll make me timid. Rather I should be stronger and more confident and be more bold. So that's what I had written. Rather should make me stronger, better, and more of a warrior. My ring lights are here. Hard disk is here. I'm ready. Pause if you need to, but don't stop. Be alert, cautious of that pause though. So many times I would be like, oh, like I'm not giving up, but I'll take a break. But what that break turns into is, me feeding into negativity of, like, oh, things are not working. Or you're like, oh, like this, just complacency. Like 1 day rest, 2 day rest is fine, and then you need to fucking get back on. Like rest is enough. So that's what I said. Be cautious of that pause, though. Don't let that be an excuse for inertia to creep in. Revive, and I would always revive with study, my Bible, and my study and pray and stuff. And one quote I had written that I had read somewhere, which said, I will not just surpass all women, but I will even surpass all men. Me being fucking arrogant and ambitious at the same time. Then I had written, what is my talent? Identify that one thing I bring to the table, and that one thing that no one else can. What will I play on? Discover, awaken, identify. And then I had made a bullet point saying, maybe I feel directionless. So I don't think I'm in the same place right now. I feel much more like grounded and secure. But this is where I was at, when there's a lot of things going good. These are thoughts that I constantly have, when you're not finding work, or when you are finding work, they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm just like, I don't know. What do I do? I don't know. What do I want to do? I don't know. All I had done, up until now was listen to Gary, whatever he would say, like, oh, do a podcast, or document, or do this, and I would keep on doing that. And because of following those advices, I've built such a huge portfolio of like videos and podcasts and blogs and a website and so many other things, and I would not have been able to do otherwise. So like they say, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. So many times I thought all of this time that I've invested, creating these videos or doing these podcasts, what did it even lead to? Like, I'm nowhere. This is not paying me anything. But once these jobs came about, I saw that, wow, everything he said came true. This is what I wrote all this stuff in 2018. Now it's 2021. It's almost 3 years down the line. This is the biggest requirement of the market right now. They need content creators and they need storytellers. And this is a skill I've been able to develop because of Gary's guidance over the years. And I had educated myself a lot on who I'm listening to. And Gary has just been a person who's been factually correct about a lot of his predictions. They're very informed and educated predictions. Not even predictions, like he knows the fucking future, because he knows the game in and out. So just seeing his company hire, in the middle of the pandemic when people are, having a hiring freeze and whatnot, and so many of these like top companies looking for content creators and stuff, like he's developed us into these assets who can, and who the market needs, and we've become people of value. So it was interesting to see. It's just that I don't enjoy content creation so much. I love documenting my journey for the bigger reason, but I do not like the copious work of, one could say, editing, like sitting behind the computer and doing whatnot. So, but I feel like you really would not know what you're good at unless you do it, like you would not know that you like oysters until you try oysters. It's just like that. And you can only figure out there's so many different fucking roles in a company, and once you're placed there, you're given more responsibilities. You understand, oh, this is something I might be naturally good at, or oh, this is something that I don't kind of vibe with, like I'm good at it but I don't care about it, or oh, this is something that I might not be good at but I'm really passionate about it, so I want to educate myself more. It could play out in so many different aspects, but it's only when you're in the playing field. It cannot be, it's not something you can read about. It's something you do and you understand and you incorporate in your life. So those are very interesting observations. I feel like the biggest thing I'm focusing right now is staying in motion and like just building up momentum. Even though that one thing might not, come about in a fucking platter for me, but when you're constantly doing, something's gonna hit right, whether it's the people, like someone like Dana happened, whether it's a podcast, a video fucking goes viral out of nowhere, or, constantly educating yourself, like all of these things are only building up something, you don't know what. But even all the shit I've read for, over the past years, now if I have a podcast, I'm ready for all sorts of questions and all sorts of conversations. So nothing has gone to waste. That makes you feel like everything you have been doing has got you to this place right now, and everything that you're doing right now will get you ahead. You just need to, continuously push yourself and not be super complacent. So these are the thoughts that I was having. Yeah, I think the game plan right now is reaching out to people and fucking like fearlessly asking for work and offering whatever it is that I have to offer. Just go really hard at it. It's not easy, but you hit up 20 people and then you hit them up 3 times, and then you hit up the next 20 and hit them up 3 times. That is just you creating your increasing the odds to play out in your favor. And once that happens, it's again a whole new world opens up before you. So I want to document how that is going for me, and every person that I might end up working with is someone you can see that I've had a podcast with, so you can see how that conversation started and how it ended. It's not something that I'm doing behind a closet. I wanted to show exactly how it's done in my own ways. So it's been a while since we did this whole documentation thing, but here it is.
Give me some space, 2 styrofoam cups, a pint and some drink. I'm the type of nigga that you meet at the bank. Grade A bitches treating me like a saint. This money doing something to my brain. This money doing something to my ego. This drink got me talking like zero. These pills got me feeling like Neo. this freak in my ear trying to go. I turn your crib to a whole house. I'm a rock star, drink till I pass out. Drink till I motherfucking pass out. Drink till I motherfucking
Saran rapping with the Vaseline. You know the clean lean jump like trampoline. Orange dripping had a dream round on MLK. 2 pink rings, 2 pints of lean, 2 cups, 2 turn, 2 hoes, 1 me. They were screaming free Gucci, but now that goo was free. Blue cheese, no ranch, Honda's on me. 30 cars deep is like a circus with me. Red screamer Gucci, man, it sounds perfect to me. Down below, down below,
Bro, this is a fuck up. We'll have to learn.
I'm back on top like I'm supposed to be, but I done post so many pints that shit got old of me.
Okay, regardless, you just saw the ring light in action. You see me trying to, you know, step it up. Should I tie my hair like this? Can we tie it? Let's try. Is this good enough? We'll stop this because distraction. So the update I wanted to give you is it's been so long since I've actually recorded like a one-to-one video, and I have no explanations for it. It's because I feel like when I would get really bottled up is when I would want to record, you know, like a one-on-one video, and I would want to share, you know, what's been up and give an update and stuff like that. But your girl has been dating. So it hasn't taken away my time, but a lot of things that would be built up now get released. I'm much more happier now. Not that I wasn't happy earlier, but I was aggressive, angry. That was like my perpetual state. Now I feel much lighter, gentler, softer, which is an interesting observation. You know, I never felt like I'm a person who needed to date, and I was like, this is like the biggest time, you know, waste thing someone could do for the future. But that's really not the case when you find the right person. And my boy is a gem. Okay, not to brag, but it's been a great experience. And since I'm documenting everything, I would love to share it. And I don't want to make this video talking about him. But I want you to know how it's been tough and it's been challenging, but at the same time it's just been the most rewarding experience one could ask for. And if anyone would have to date someone and experience what it's like, this should be it. You know, it's amazing, it's wholesome, it's comforting. It is something that keeps me inspired. It is something that makes me want to work harder. It's something that gives me energy. It's all the things I never knew that a relationship could bring, you know, because all I've seen is, I won't say toxicity, but you know, like just relationship as an escapism, or you know, as like a mere distraction, or you know, like you're so unhappy with your life so you're just dating. But this has been different, and that's why it's been a very, very rewarding experience. regardless, can talk for hours on that. But I got a new laptop, which was a huge deal because the last time I actually recorded a podcast, so many times my laptop would give up on me. I would lose the footage because it does not have enough space and the operating system isn't efficient enough, or the craziest shit has happened by now and it's been really tough to deal with. And a laptop is an expense. It's expensive to get like a good laptop, especially for someone who wants to edit, is coding, or like doing heavy activities. But that happened, and it's kept me so efficient. My laptop needs like 4 clicks to have like a normal command being taken or processing, but this thing I would just like whoosh, touch it like slightly, and then boom, things are happening. So that's been great. I have really been reading a lot, and I feel like I've gone through a lot of changes the past couple of months. I don't know how to define those changes. Like I said, I've gotten softer, more calm, more chill. I don't feel like I'm competing against anyone. I feel like I'm on my own timeline and my own journey, and I feel happy. Earlier I would still be like, oh, you need to exercise patience, but I said, how long do I have to wait to be happy? I've been feeling happy in the present too, and this has been after a very long time, and I'm grateful for this experience.